attacks or some vulnerabilities. And also you'll learn some basic network security terminologies like what is threat, asset, and the classifications and more details on that. And then secure access majorly deals with how we can access the devices remotely by a secure way using AAA, authenticating the users or authenticating authorization and accounting, and also how we can allow the users who are bringing their own devices to securely connect to the network and access the network resources without sending any kind of malicious traffic. Now the next section is like VPNs. VPN stands for virtual private networks. It allows you to connect your sites over any untrusted network like over the internet, virtually private networks. So how we can allow the multiple sites to connect between them by using some LAN to LAN VPNs or site to site VPNs, and how we can allow the user who is sitting in a home, maybe a remote user, is trying to access the resources in my company network, how we can allow that user to securely connect over internet by using some SSL VPNs. And then the next concept like securing the routers and switches majorly deals with understanding the different threats in the LAN and how we can overcome what are the security features we'll implement on the switches to prevent those kind of some kind of attacks or some vulnerabilities in the network. And then we connect the router and how we can securely manage the router remotely, and understanding some different types of threats on the routers like routing protocol spoofings, or it can be control plane attacks on the router. We'll try to understand them and we'll see what are the security implementations we do on the routers to prevent those kind of attacks. Now the next section, there is something called firewall section. In this we'll get into the command line of the ASA. Of course we'll see what is firewall and many other concepts relating to firewalls, and our focus will be mainly on Cisco ASA firewalls. And also we'll also see some zone-based firewall feature which can be enabled on Cisco routers to get some benefits of the firewall as well. And then some basic IPS IDS fundamentals. And finally in the last section you'll be focusing on understanding the email-based security threats and how we can prevent them by using some ESA, email security appliance from Cisco, and understanding the web-based threats and securing the web-based attacks by using a WSA, and also some basic overview on endpoint security like antivirus and other programs. So as for the Cisco, this is a general order or the format, but again this is not very much in-depth or details we can say. But if you get into my codes, probably I have my own way of defining the sections. Like I said, different sections here. What is the percentage they cover? You can actually go through the site. I have added that in the course description here. The VPN, the same thing what I discussed just now, and the target audience. And then if you go to the contents here, probably you'll see some more details on the contents here. So the section 1 is like a course overview. This is like network security concepts, majorly deals with understanding some of the basic network terminologies and the threat types. You can see the headings here. And of course if you get into the other options like common security attacks, which covers majorly on understanding the different types of attacks and what are the mitigations, like social engineering attacks. There are different types of attacks, more like a theoretical topic. And then we need to also know some basic concepts of what is virus, worms, and trojans, and hacking, and then some malware services. Again, these are like more common terminology used in the common security, network security. It's not specific to Cisco. And then some overview of what are the threat defense technologies we'll be using to prevent those things. So the basic overview again, this is not like in detail, but basically like what is AAA and what are the services we enable, what is the advantage of that, the basic overview, what is VPNs and other stuff. But probably more on this you will have more detail, separate sections covered later on classes. And then understanding the basic setup. So there are a few more lectures to be added here, like here understanding the different lab options, and then the setup, and virtualizing the labs by using JNS3, and how to integrate your VMware to run some ASA or IVSV devices So probably the steps, mainly referring to GNS3 documentations, and then understanding network infrastructure and protection and different planes. And of course, some more options like securing the management plane, how we can access devices remotely. The contents will be added soon. You see, there are almost 27 sections, what I covered. AAA concepts, and then AAA remote administration by using some TechAX servers, basic TechAX, and then authorization by using the local database, like how we can restrict the users, what commands they can execute, something like that. And you'll see more sections like Cisco telemetry services, enabling some services like NTP or syslogs, those kind of services. The control plane security deals with routing protocol authentications and how we can protect the control plane. And again, there are two sections more. Again, you can see there are 0 lectures actually, but this is actually, I'm just uploading the contents, probably will be ready in the next couple of days. But the sections has been added, like these are the individual topics what we'll be covering in the layer 2 security, the basic security, and then advanced security implementations. And most of the labs are not really required at the NS security exams, but I have covered some labs as well, probably to practically verify these concepts. But most of the practical implementations you will see the NP level. Like this course is not just covers the CCNA security exams, but in the real world how these technologies will be used, and also with some practical basic implementation labs for you to understand how exactly the output looks and how we can mitigate that. Once you stop that, then what kind of messages you'll see. And you can see these sections like firewalls section is a common terminology used for all the different firewalls. And then we'll be seeing some Cisco ASA firewalls, and then managing the Cisco ASA firewalls, basic configurations, and then basic configuration on ASA ACLs, and also implementing NAT on the ASA firewalls, implementing zone-based firewalls, Cisco IWS feature on enabling firewall features on the Cisco IWS routers, and then basic concepts of cryptography, like what is encryption, what is hashing, and the keys, and some overview on the public infrastructure like digital certificates. The basic overview, more theoretical topic. The VPN foundations, what are exactly VPNs and what are the different types of VPNs, more like a basic foundation on the VPN topics. But here we'll be covering, there are many types of VPNs, I can say, but here our focus will be on the basic IPsec site-to-site VPNs, and then different phases and the configuration examples. And then in the remote access VPNs, we'll be focusing on SSL VPNs, overview on that, and then IPS, IDS concepts, like what are the different options. And then finally, we'll be seeing something about email security appliances, what are the different threats in the email, web-based attacks or email-based attacks, and then Cisco solutions of providing web security appliance and email security appliances. As you can see, I have plenty of other courses. I do have a courses, you can see. So probably these are the number of students currently using my courses. So I already released my different courses on CCNA routing switching to CCIE's routing switching tracks. So probably on the security, this is my first course. So as in the future, I have plans to add some more courses on the security, like relating to CCNA NP security papers.